Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sussex County Community College for a special doubleheader presentation of Sussex Skylanders basketball. Game one of our doubleheader here on EDTV Channel 20. The Sussex men's Skylanders taking on the Passaic County Panthers. Both teams looking for the first win of the year. Passaic comes in with a record of 0-4. Sussex winless also at 0-2. They're coming off their latest loss last Tuesday. Are the Skylanders a blowout victory on the road, 75-47 against Union. And for Passaic, they lost a heartbreaker 70-67 last Tuesday as well to Hostess. So we begin action here at Sussex County Community College. The Passaic Panthers win the opening tip. Corner three, no good off the mark by Grayson. Spencer Grayson, two brothers on the floor. Laying up and under transition offense shown beautifully. Jordan Wright, the team's leading scorer, gets the Skylanders off to a quick 2-0 start. And I'm going to bring my broadcast partner, Alex. Alex, that's something we saw. We did the Penn State Scranton game against Sussex. Sussex got killed in transition and could not get anything to going in transition. A good start here early.
Looks good. Got their first points off transition and crashing the boards early. Two things that killed them against Penn State Scranton, so they're looking to change the game plan for the game against Passaic.
Absolutely. DJ Davis of Penn State Scranton absolutely ate them up inside. They did not have an answer for him, and they're going to have their work cut out for them again tonight. A couple of 6-footers on this Passaic Panthers squad. Let's give you the starting lineups now as the ball goes out of bounds and up to the Skylanders for the visiting Passaic Panthers. At guard, number 2, Xavier Nieves, 6'3", 200 pounds. Number 4 in the backcourt as well, Jesse Jones. David Bellamy, the 6'5" prospect out of Trenton, and a loose ball and it's going to stay underneath with Sussex. And the two brothers, number 23, Dante Grayson, 6'6", 220 out of Montclair, and his brother Spencer Grayson, 6'2", 190, also out of Montclair. Dante, number 23, Spencer, number 32. We'll keep an eye on those two throughout the evening. Sussex looking to get something going here. Sweet gives it up. Dribble drive, Garcia. And Garcia unable to keep control, and it's going back up to Passaic.
Sussex looking to contain the size of Passaic since they struggled so much with Davis and Penn State.
Absolutely.
A lot of 6-footers on the roster.
Absolutely. And we mentioned the Grayson brothers, 6'2" and bigger. A dribble drive. Bellamy goes up. Basket and the foul. And Garcia thought he was straight up and down. And Randy Jackson giving some coaching to Carlos Garcia, the freshman guard. So attempting a three-point play, David Bellamy. Bellamy hits. Let's give you the Skylanders lineup now. In the backcourt for the Skylanders, you got Shakir Alexander at the point, who has the ball now. Number 2, Max Sweet. Number 12, Carlos Garcia. Number 15, Craig Tompkins. And Sussex off to a 4-3 lead. They retake the lead back, and a nice bucket there.
Much more energetic start than they had against Penn State. They looked a little flat-footed in the early going of that game.
Absolutely. Their fifth starter, number 4, Jordan Wright, the team's leading scorer, coming in averaging a little more than 16 points per contest. Grayson, pull-up pop, long 2, got it to go. 5-4, Passaic leads, 17.5 minutes, first half. Alexander feeds it down inside, Jordan Wright. His second bucket of the game. He's got 4 of the 6 for Sussex, and Sussex with a 6-5 lead. On paper, Alex, these two teams look very evenly matched. Both teams winless on the year, and both teams young and struggling to finish games.
Yeah, both teams trying to get their first win. They're both coming out hungry from the start, trading baskets. It's going to be a competitive game throughout.
Absolutely, and that size, and going up and drawing the foul, Bellamy, he'll go to the line for his second. No, they're going to call an offensive foul. Or a travel, I believe is the call. So it's going up to Sussex, and Shakir Alexander with it for the Skylanders on the left side.
think an offensive foul on Jordan Wright.
Yep, a foul away from the basketball. And it's going up to Passaic. Spencer Grayson with it. Talking to Randy Jackson. Pre-game long three off the mark by Jones. Loose ball. Corralled for a moment there by Nieves, been poked away by the Skylander defense. Corner three in transition. Sweet, unable to hit. Grayson with it in transition. Garcia able to stop the transition offense. They give it up for a corner three. Got it to go is Bellamy. So we talked to Randy Jackson pregame, and we asked him about the Grayson brothers. How are they going to deal with that size after they got beat up by Penn State? TJ Davis just ate them alive. And we have a whistle and we have a foul against Passaic. But he said that the big guys for Passaic more of a guard type, not more of the banging body, the banging bodies that you would stereotypically figure with a 6'6" kid.
Yeah, they're both big, and they do look to shoot more than get past the ball, it looks.
Absolutely.
And, they're not quite as ferocious rebounders as Davis was, but they look to be good players.
Kick it out, long two, getting it to go is number 15, Tompkins. So Tompkins is on the scoring sheet, and we're tied at 8 with 15:40 remaining here in the first half. Nearly moving that pivot foot was Grayson, but he's able to give it up. Nieves, long two, got it to go. And it's now an 8-10 Passaic lead. Randy Jackson, despite the 75-47 score, he said there was good defense, but this team just could not shoot. He said it was a close game with 3 or 4 minutes left to go before halftime, but then things just started to get out of hand.
You have those games sometimes where you can't seem to buy a basket and just gets away from you. Before you know it, you're down by 10.
Yeah, and going through the half, you play 16 or 17 minutes of solid basketball, and then you let up, and you find yourself down by a 10 to 15 point deficit at the half. Throwing it away, and a whistle. We have a reach-in foul on Bellamy, as Garcia was looking to make something happen, transition for the Skylanders. So Sussex will inbound it right in front of us.
Sussex defense out of the gate here has been much more aggressive than it was against Penn State.
Absolutely, and these two teams on paper came in very evenly matched. And on the floor, it's translating. Alexander with it. Alexander with a nice drive, kicks it out. Three from Garcia, off the mark. Tip in, no good. Rebound by Bellamy. They give it up to Bellamy. Bellamy pulls it back out. He'll take the long three off the front of the rim. Dante Grayson with it, and he gets it to go. So second chance opportunities here early for Passaic.
Offensive rebounds and second chance points have been killing Sussex all year.
They're in a 4-point deficit. 14 minutes first half. Nice back cut. Rejected. Dante Grayson on the other end. Nieves gives it up. Laying it up is Jesse Jones. He's unable to get it to go. And it's going to be last touch off Sussex. Max Sweet had a fantastic backdoor cut, but on the backside was Dante Grayson with the rejection.
Fantastic recovery by Grayson on the play.
Absolutely, you get back cut like that, and
it's usually an easy two, but
great hustle play by Grayson, not giving up the easy two. Bellamy for three, no good. Coming down with the rebound is Sweet. Max Sweet gives it up. Losing it underneath is Jordan Wright. David Bellamy with it. Poked away for the moment by Tompkins, and they're going to say it hit off of a Passaic player prior to going out of bounds. And the Panthers disagree. So our first substitution of the game, Carlos Garcia will catch a breather. Farad Campbell, the freshman guard, will check in. Sweet dribble drive, kick out, corner three, off the mark. And diving in for is Tompkins, keeping it alive. Reverse layup, no good by Jordan Wright. But a great hustle play there by the Sussex offense not to give up on the play. Nieves gives it back up to Bellamy. Bellamy fadeaway jumper, got it. Nothing but net. And a timeout called by Passaic. So Anthony Virgil going to take a timeout and talk things over. He's up by 6 with 12:46 remaining here in the first half.
This Sussex team is impressing me, though, in the early going. They really came out with a lot of energy, and they seem to be trying to win this game. They seem to know they're evenly matched with Passaic, and they just want to show that they can play.
Yeah, and it's certainly a different start than what we saw against the Penn State Scranton team. Thanks. The not getting off to that slow start. You don't see DJ Davis or a kid like DJ Davis
just dominating.
They're just dominating on both ends of the floor, and they're not getting beat in transition.
No, they've looks like they've addressed that in practice, and they have very few transition points for Passaic.
And for Randy Jackson, I asked him earlier this afternoon before the game, how do you expect you guys to come out? And I quote, I couldn't tell you. And for an answer like that, his team playing very well here in the early going.
You never know you're going to get week to week.
Absolutely.
From your team.
And laying it up in Shakir Alexander. We have a whistle. And a delay of game was called, I believe. Or a warning was handed out. No technical foul administered. Dante Grayson, tough contested jumper from the left elbow, and he got it to go. For Rod Campbell, all up in his face. And he still found the strength to get it to go.
Passaic relying a lot on jump shots in the early going.
Campbell on the other end, banks one in. Inside 6 minutes, or inside rather 8 minutes, pardon me, going by here in the first half, 16-12, Passaic lead. Good ball movement by Passaic. Bellamy unable to get it to go, unable to draw iron. Max Sweet with it in transition. Let's see if Sussex is going to reset here and see if they can set something up.
Nice interior pass.
Beautiful find. Alexander unable to corral it. Pull up, put back by Tompkins was no good. Tipped down inside by Campbell. And prevailing with it was Passaic. Thinking that the three was Bellamy, but he pulls it out. And he'll give it up to Xavier Navis. Navis working on Alexander one-on-one. Gives up to Jones. Jones, crossover, pull up, pop for three, bottom.
Beautiful shot by Jones.
Nice crossover dribble. And Jesse Jones makes them pay. The largest lead for Passaic, they have it at 7. Nice interior pass, but swatted away by the Panthers. And they'll be staying here with Sussex. So Yvel Exel checking in as well. Basket and the foul. Skylar Dorney to the line for and one. He's just coming off the bench.
Looks like Kenneth Davis in the game too now.
A beautiful set play drawn up there by Randy Jackson. So Skylar Dorney to the line for one to make it a three-point play and cut the lead to 4. Off the back iron, 19-14 our score, 10:40 remaining first half. Jones gives it up. Lopez now with it. Gives it up to Bellamy. Bellamy, jump ball, and it's going to Sussex. Thought they could have called the travel there, perhaps.
Yeah, it was either way, but they gave him the jump ball.
Sussex with the possession arrow. Great defense by Farad Campbell there to force the up and down and the turnover for Sussex. So Exel with it now. Exel was checking in last substitution. Jordan Wright, contested by Bellamy in the corner, gives it up to Campbell. Campbell drives baseline, no good. Loose ball, Bellamy with it. And he finds the outlet in Francis. Spencer Grayson splits a couple defenders, goes up, gets it to go. Hitting the deck was Exel, but no call. 21-14. Passaic leads, 9:40 remaining first half. And they call Alexander with the offensive foul on the other end. Alexander not in agreement, saying, how are you going to call that, but you're not going to call it on the other end.
It was a nice move by Lopez to get into position into the restricted area and get the play.
So don't forget, game 1 of 2 here on EDTV Channel 20 Sports. Coming up next, at scheduled tip-off at 7 p.m., the women's Skylanders team, Mike Lipscomb, gets his first crack as the new women's head coach here at Sussex, and a foul called against Passaic. And Jordan Wright will be heading to the line for 2. So that game immediately following us here on EDTV Channel 20. And Jordan Wright rattles home the first.
Jordan Wright definitely carrying the load for the Skylanders the last couple games. He's a real impressive offensive player.
Team's leading scorer, averaging 16.3 points per contest.
He had a nice game in a loss against Penn State, but he definitely showed he can play.
Also rebounds the ball well in the defensive end, averaging 16.3 and 9 rebounds per game. Bellamy got it to go. What a player, and what a play there. Bellamy, he's been the one that's eaten up Sussex, and he's really been the one who's causing the most time.
He's had a nice early going here. Outside shots, getting in the paint.
Absolutely, yeah. And what you see is he's making he's going up a 2 against 2 or 3 defenders.
You can't teach 6'5".
No, absolutely, you can't teach size or speed. And just to speak of the Devil, Bellamy with the steal in the lane. Nice find. They give it up. Dante Grayson got it to go, rattles it home. Pardon me, that's Spencer Grayson, number 32.
They don't want to fall in a hole like they did against Penn State. They got to answer here with the basket.
They find themselves down by their largest deficit at 10. And Yavell Exel, the freshman, attacking the basket, and he'll go to the line for a pair with 8:13 remaining here in the first half. Also another reminder here, don't forget to watch 21 Days Lenape Valley Football right here on EDTV Channel 20. 21 Days Lenape Valley Football shows the Patriots days through training camp, leading them all the way to their first regular season game at Hackettstown, with special interviews with players and coaches from the Lenape Valley Patriots. Patriots unfortunately getting bounced in the first round of state competition a couple weeks ago against Bernard's, 26-20. So Exel 0 for 2 at the line. And Lopez gives it up to Nieves. Nieves attacks. Could not get the floater to go, and a careless pass by Jordan Wright too high for Max Sweet, and it's right back to the Panthers of Passaic, and Garcia immediately checking in.
Sussex can't afford any turnovers if they want to cut into this lead.
Well, they're down by 10 with just under 8 to play here in the first half. They started off strong, going back and forth, and Passaic is taking over the last few possessions. And turnover certainly not going to help the cause. Get it back to Spencer Grayson. Grayson to Stephon Francis. Francis working on Sweet. Lopez triple teamed, and 3 Scounders all around him, unable to get it to go, and they kick it out to Spencer Grayson, who nails the corner 3, and it's 29-16 with 7.5 remaining. Sussex is in their largest deficit at 13. And getting the pull-up jumper to go is Sussex, 29-18, 7:18 remaining first half. They kick it out. Francis unable to get it to go, rebounded by Garcia, who just came in off the bench. Campbell drives left side, able to finish with left hand off the window.
Farad Campbell having a nice game off the bench.
And Randy Jackson said, you know, he was still looking for that number 1 guy offensively. But he expects Jordan Ray. Jordan Ray's answered the bell. He's the team's leading scorer with over 16 points per game. And he's a deep team. And he mentioned that in a nice hustle play.
Garcia.
Nice effort, and I believe it's staying here as it is with the Panthers. But Randy Jackson very deep this year. And he doesn't have to rely on the same 5, 6, or 7 guys. If one of them's injured or someone's having an off night, and they tried to feed it to Green. Green was unable to corral the pass, and it's going right back up to the Skylanders. Coach
Jackson has a lot of people off the bench he can put into the game and feel comfortable that they can contribute.
That's such a luxury for coaches nowadays. You know, you see guys who try to win with the same 6 or 7 guys. It's not going to work. And a triple by Max Sweet from the right wing. And it's just like that. It's 29-23 in a 2-possession game. A little over 6 minutes remaining in the first half, and a foul away from the ball.
If you can go 10 deep, 11 deep, it really helps your team's chances at winning.
And no doubt about that. And you know, he's got, and if you would have 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 guys, let me take a look at the replay here. It certainly is going to help your cause. They inbounded double team. Fighting the double team is Dante Grayson. 31-23. Driving baseline, unable to get it to go. Passaic is up by 8. Without Exel making a couple plays.
Nice steal
in the backcourt. Garcia with the steal to Exel. Exel to the line for 2. He's fouled on the way up. So a 30-second timeout called by the Panthers of Passaic. So Sussex 0-2, as you mentioned, also losing to Raritan Valley in the regular season, 90-61, and of course their scrimmage against Penn State Scranton, 88-77. And through 3 games, take a look at these numbers. Sussex averaged over 61.5 points, 61.7 to be exact, while allowing 84.3. Not going to win you many ball games when you're being outscored by 22.5.
No, you can't be winning any game if you're outscored by 20 plus per game. They have really impressed me in the last 6 or 7 minutes, though, trying to cut back in this lead, making some interior shots, just really playing aggressive.
And you never know, 2 or 3 minutes, a couple solid stops, a couple made baskets here.
5-0 run, 6-0 run. They're right back in this game.
And basketball, a game of runs, as we all know, and it doesn't take much. But Randy Jackson saying he's looking for that defensive guy to step up, and he doesn't really know who it is. As Yvel Exel hits the first. He's going to need to find that defensive guy too soon if he's getting outscored by 22.5 on average.
80 plus a game.
Yeah, it's not going to win you many ball games, if any. So Sussex down by 6, 35, 31-25. Our score, Green with it. Covered by Garcia. Green brings it out to the near half-court line. Blows by Garcia, pull up, pop in front of Exel, no good. Tipped around, rebounded by Campbell. Campbell gets it across half court quickly. 3 from Exel, no good. And it's rebounded by Stefan Francis of Passaic.
Getting back in transition much faster than he did against Penn State.
Not getting beaten. Passaic trying to beat him in transition. Sussex not letting it happen. Catch and shoot off the back iron, no good for Dante Grayson. Sweet. Dribble drive, kick out. Corner 3, just barely grazing iron. So the shot was put up by Sweet. And they get it to Green. Green gives up to Lopez. Lopez off the Dante Grayson screen, able to save it. Foot on the line, long 2. Last touch. Going up to Sussex. Whistle and substitutions. Mass substitutions for both teams.
Sussex defense is the last 5 possessions has been suffocating. They've been forcing turnovers and really looked energetic.
Certainly been making plays on the defensive end. Catch and shoot 3, got it! From the corner, Max Sweet, the sophomore. Not going to hear many sophomores being called tonight. Only one sophomore on that Passaic squad. And Sussex, with only 2 of the 5 starters being sophomores. Dribbling left sides, Bellamy. Effective 10 minutes, but a call travel.
Sussex looking either to tie within 1 or tie on the next possession.
Farrah Campbell coming out, Jordan Wright checking in. They can cut it to 1 or tie with a basket here. 31-28 our score, 3:43 remaining here in the first half. Tompkins looking for someone to go with a good ball movement off the back iron, no good. And Spencer Grayson with the board. Catch and release 3 by Nieves, no good. Surprised Passaic didn't try to settle it down, try to get something going here in the set offense.
Rushed an early shot.
Alexander with a beautiful, nifty layup with the left hand, a little shake and bake down the lane, and it's now a 1-point deficit.
Sussex has really turned up the intensity the last 6 or 7 minutes, and they've cut the lead to 1.
Not too long ago, they were down by 10. 3-minute mark first half, 31-30 Passaic. Both teams fighting for the first one. Rejected in the lane. Outlet to Sweet. Sweet alley-oop with the slam. Jordan Wright able to finish on the other end. Timeout Passaic.
That was an impressive series of plays by Jordan Wright to make the block and get back for the dunk on the other end.
A full timeout called by the Panthers, and Sussex with that fantastic play. We'll take another look at it here. Able to take the 1-point lead with 2:47 remaining here in the first half. Wow.
That was quite a play we got the block by Wright.
What a pass, what a play. And Jordan Wright and that entire Skylanders offense, that entire Skylanders team feeling it. So 2:47 remaining, first half 32-31, and a fantastic way to get this doubleheader started here tonight on EDTV Channel 20.
Exactly.
And the women's team, I mean, not to look too far ahead, but Mike Lipscomb, he's got himself a great squad. I happened to take a look at them in their scrimmage last week, and they came from behind. They were down by as many as 15. They came back to win, so Mike Lipscomb certainly with a more athletic team than this women's team had a year before, and Mike Lipscomb, a great coach and really knows his stuff, and he seems like the great guy to take the job over.
High hopes for the women's Skylanders.
High hopes here for the men's team as well. They're up by 1. And some great defense and another turnover going back to Sussex. Max Sweet or Shakir Alexander appearing to get a hand on it, deflecting it off what appeared to be Xavier Nieves, number 2 for the Panthers. 2.5 remaining first half. Sussex has trailed for the majority of this first half. Sweet tried to find someone behind him, but unable to do so. And a nifty finish with the left hand, able to get the spin as Jesse Jones. Max Sweet maybe trying to get a little too creative on the other end on that turnover. Alexander. To Sweet, Sweet holding. So he approached the 2-minute mark of this first half. 20 on the shot clock. Tompkins to Alexander. Alexander one-on-one on Jones. Loose ball. Nieves with the steal. And Nieves pushing up the right side. A nice spin. A nice move in the lane. Last touch off Nieves. Able to avoid the body contact. Great body control in the lane. And with 100 seconds remaining, Sussex finds themselves down by 1.
Sussex looking to retake the lead here. Looking to Jordan Wright.
Wright, the leading scorer. Corralled it. Halfway down and out, no good. And the rebound by the 6'2" forward and Spencer Grayson. Grayson with it. Gives to his brother Dante Grayson. Spin move and able to get it to go. Tough angled shot. And it's a 3-point contest. 1 minute remaining first half. Tompkins to Alexander. Alexander to Sweet. Sweet gonna back it out, then the 19 on the shot clock. They feed it to Wright, whistle, contact and a foul. So that's the 17th foul against the Panthers, 44.2 remaining. A 1-on-1 coming up for Jordan Wright.
Looking to potentially cut this lead to 1.
Jordan Wright's got to make the first. A 70% free throw shooter on the year is Wright. Wright makes the first. They'll get one more. So Wright hits 1 and 2, rebounded by Spencer Grayson, and we have a body foul and a player down. Slow to get up is Garcia, and he'll walk it off, and I believe he will come out. Farad Campbell to enter with 42.5. 7.5 second differential shot clock to game clock. Nieves gives it up to Bellamy. Bellamy lost it in the lane, and it's going up to Sussex, and Bellamy disagreeing and pleading his case to the official. It's no avail. So Sussex will get it back with 27 seconds remaining, and Randy Jackson will call his first time out of the game. Shot clock is turned off, and Sussex can tie or go into the break with a 1-point lead.
They're definitely looking to score here. Can't get out of here with the empty possession.
So Randy Jackson drawing up a play. Coming out of the timeout, and Avery Sussex certainly hold. You like to hold for the final shot with no shot clock.
Yeah, try to bring it down as far as possible and go into the half with potentially a lead.
A lead or tie. So Shakir Alexander has it with 23 and running. Alexander drives the lane, kick out. Long two by Tompkins. No good. Down to 6 and an opportunity. Bellamy gets it to go. 37-33 in the final seconds will tick off. Campbell's shot no good. And that will do it for the end of the first half. 37-33 our score. Panthers in front.
We're here at halftime, and the Panthers came out looking good in the first half, but Sussex stuck right with them, got this lead down to 4 at halftime, and they came out with real intensity in this first half, and I liked what I saw.
My experience here at Sussex County Community College has been incredible.
It was the best decision I have ever made.
The right choice for me.
It's really helped me develop into the person that I am today.
It was more than just an affordable choice for me. It was a great choice.
There really is something for everybody, and that's what makes it the best.
It has been life-changing.
I'm ecstatic that I got to start here.
The best decision that you could possibly make.
This was the right place for me.
It was an amazing experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
There's nowhere I'd rather be.
Hello? Yeah, I can.
Oh, I just panicked. I didn't want you to forget about us. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Back here at Sussex County Community College. Ready to start the second half. A good first half, 37-33. The Passaic Panthers lead over the Sussex Skylanders.
Sussex looking to come out in the second half and build on what they did in the first. Play with the intensity they had at the end of this first half.
They finished the first half strong, cutting it to within 2. They had actually a 1-point lead at one point, and they slipped it, and that slipped away. And poor execution in the final 27 seconds led to a turnover and 2 points in favor of the Panthers up Passaic. 37-33 our scores will begin the second half. And just like that, Jesse Jones hits the 3 from the top of the key. 40-33, just like that.
Not the way you want to start if you're Sussex.
Certainly not. And it's a 7 points Panther lead. Jordan Wright, the team's leading scorer. High arcing shot, no good. Rebound corralled by Dante Grayson. Outlet pass up ahead to Bellamy. He's unable to get it to go. Thought about the 3. Did Dante Grayson, no good. Kicks it out to Jesse Jones. His spins around the rim and out. And now Shakir Alexander with it for the Skylanders. Alexander, cross-court pass. Sweet, corner 3, short. Jordan Wright with it. Muscles his way up. Whistle. And a tie-up underneath and possession arrow to Sussex. Second time we could have had a jump ball or an up-and-down call. Trouble getting it in. They get it to Alexander. So let's reset the 5 for you on the floor for the Skylanders. It's Shakir Alexander, Max Sweet. Oh, we had a fantastic look at a shot. Decided against it. Carlos Garcia also on the floor. Craig Tompkins. And Jordan Wright, the starting 5 on the floor for Sussex, and laying it up and in transition is Jesse Jones. So let's reset the 5 for you.
Sussex trying not to let this get away from him here in the beginning of the second half.
Spencer Grayson, Jesse Jones, Dante Grayson, David Bellamy, as well as Xavier Navis.
Nice inside shot by Wright.
The starting 5. So on the floor, so the same starting 5 that started the game for both teams remain out on the floor to start the second half. It's a 7 points Passaic lead. Bellamy to Jones. Nice crossover dribble. Oh, thought about the long three to Spencer Grayson. And a foul on the floor. And they're going to get number 15, Tompkins, with the foul. So not even 2 minutes going by here. And with Dante Grayson, a force down low, the 6'6", 220 prospect out of Montclair, using his body to his advantage and just backing his way down for the easy deuce.
Letting him play there, no foul call on either end.
Sussex certainly felt like there should have been. Shakir Alexander to the line for two, and I believe Jesse Jones is the guilty party. So each side with a team foul here in this second half. 2 minutes and 15 seconds going by. Shakir Alexander in and out on the first. Also another reminder going on around here at the campus of Sussex County Community College. Priority registration is going on for the spring semester, so come on and check us out at www.sussex.edu to register for the spring semester. So hitting one of two was Alexander, and the putback by Dante Grayson goes. And he's had a fantastic night here at Sussex.
Both Graysons have really impressed me tonight. The two brothers from
Montclair
have come out and shown they're real players.
Nieves in transition with the steal, and the two unable to go on the other end. Jordan Wright corrals the rebound for the Skylanders. Quick pass from Alexander, pardon me, to Carlos Garcia, and he lays it up and in, and the lead is down to 8 for Passaic. The Grayson brothers have really taken over here in the last 15 minutes or so of this ballgame.
They're very, very impressive players.
Poked away by Garcia for the moment. But corralling it is Bellamy. Dante Grayson got it. The mid-range J has been lethal all night.
Passaic has really hit a lot of mid-range jumpers, and they seem to rely on that rather than drive to the basket like Sussex.
And another foul called against Passaic. Foul going against Nieves. And Jordan Wright to the line for a pair. He hits the first. He hits them both, 48-40. Both teams looking for the first win. Sussex 0-2, Passaic 0-4. Passaic has had no problem scoring through their first 4 games, averaging 75 points a contest, but giving up 86.5. So they've been outscored by double digits as well. And poked away by Garcia, but it's staying with Passaic.
That's why this matchup looks so good on paper, and it so far has lived up to the billing.
It certainly has, and nice defensive play again by Garcia, getting a piece of it, and last touch going off a Passaic defender. And Sussex will get it back with 16:03 and down by 8. Alexander's pass intercepted. And laying it up and in is Spencer Grayson. No surprise, really.
The Grayson brothers have really taken over the second half.
Tompkins, DeSuite, wing 3, got it.
Sussex answers right back, though, with the long 3.
They needed that 3 to go. Unable to really cut this lead any further than 8. They got it at 7 now. But the problem has been on the defensive end for the first 4.5 minutes or so of this second half. Tough shot, got it to go. Bellamy.
Sussex has been playing from behind for most of the season. They have a lot of resilience. They're not going anywhere.
Garcia long two. No good. Loose ball. Put back by Tompkins. No good. And whistle. And a loose ball foul. And I believe they got Tompkins for Sussex, and they did. So David Bellamy for Passaic to inbounds. He gets it into Spencer Grayson. The size and athleticism has certainly been in the favor of Passaic this afternoon. Long three, no good. Put back, yes. Stefan Francis able to get the tough two to go.
They have had no answer here yet for the Graysons or any of Passaic in this early going in the second half.
And Alexander swatted away, and Stefan Francis just converted on that bucket on the other end. Comes back with a nice defensive play of his own. Dominique Letley checking in for Dante Grayson. Thinking about the catch and release was Sweet, gives it up to Garcia. Garcia unable to get it to go, and Spencer Grayson rips it away from the much smaller Carlos Garcia. And a steal for Sussex. Tompkins, he nearly lost it. Three by Sweet, no good.
Nice offensive rebound by Tompkins.
And a nice feed. Tompkins getting it to go. That was actually Skylar Dorney.
With the assist.
With the assist on the play. Approaching 13.5 minute mark of this second half. They trail by 9. Spencer Grayson, fadeaway jumper, no good. And not one Panther in the area for an offensive rebound. Garcia fortunate to give it up. Dorney tried to feed it down inside, tried to make one too many passes perhaps to Garcia. And it goes back over to the Panthers.
Couple of substitutions for Sussex. Jordan Wright back in the game.
Sussex still marching to the same old beat as last year as far as the record goes. 5-24 last year. And starting this year, 0-2. Dominique Letley unable to get it to go. And last year, all 5 of their wins.
Nice play by Sussex there, behind the back pass by Sweet.
All 5 of the wins for the Sussex Skylanders came at home last year, and they lost the last 3 games of the year as well last year. And Randy Jackson does not contribute the lack of size to their struggles at all this year. He says that's not been the problem, shockingly. I mean, most people would have thought at the beginning of the season, yeah, you got great athleticism and depth, but the lack of size is certainly going to hurt you in the long run. But thus far through 2 games, no problem.
No. They've been competitive on the boards, and Wright's really been an impressive player in the interior. At 6'4", he's their biggest player, and he's really shown that they can hang inside with the biggest teams.
And no coincidence, he's your leading scorer either. Getting it to roll is Spencer Grayson. How many times do you think we've called his name tonight?
Him or his brother all night tonight.
It's been the Grayson show here at Sussex. It was the DJ Davis show last time we televised a Sussex basketball game, and DJ Davis from Penn State Scranton.
Much different player than the Graysons. He was more of an interior. These two look to jump shot first.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what Randy Jackson said. He noticed that on film. He said, these are guards. They're more of a 3, not a true 4 or 5. With a frame like 6'6" and 220. So whistle and a foul against Passaic. Sussex will inbound underneath. Garcia's pass deflected, and Jesse Jones comes away with it, gives it up to Letley. Passaic with it now here at the left elbow. Letley gets it back, no good. Gets his own rebound, able to throw it off Dorney. Or pardon me, not Dorney, Alexander rather. Throw it off his foot and keep it here with the Panthers. And Dorney with a nice steal in the corner. He's trapped, and I believe a foul as he went crashing into the Passaic bench. Seems like that alley-oop that gave Sussex the lead back in the first half is an eternity ago.
I know, it really energized the team, and it seems like
it's worn off big time. Farad Campbell with it. 20 on the shot clock. Campbell, pull up, pop, rejected. Dante Grayson, that 6'6" frame, we'll say it over and over again. Not to beat a dead horse, but he's really made his presence felt.
Making plays on both ends of the court, Dante Grayson.
Campbell unable to come up with it, and Dante Grayson able to pick it up off the court. And Bellamy will pull it back out. He works on Garcia. Jones. Bellamy. Back to Dante Grayson, and they're going to get Grayson for an offensive foul. So he was working against Campbell, tried to give it out to Bellamy, but they got Grayson with the body.
Sussex can't afford any empty possessions here down the stretch if they want to cut back into this lead.
They're down by 9. Max Sweet checks out. Yavelt Exel, the freshman guard, checking in.
Coming up on 10 minutes to play. This is where they really got to make a move to try to cut into this lead.
Campbell forced it too hard and no good, and nobody back on defense for Sussex in the slam by Stefan Francis. The lead's 11. Campbell, wing 3, air ball. Outlet pass to Jones. Jones, pull up, pop, no good. Whistle and a foul.
Can't get it to go.
Dominique Letley to the line for a pair. Dominique Letley, the only New Yorker on this team, out of Brooklyn. Letley hits the first. .59-47, 10:38 remaining, second half. Letley 1 of 2.
Rebound by Tompkins.
Jordan Wright hit the deck, no call. Underneath, rejected was Exel. In transition, and a foul by Alexander. Committed against, he tried to stop Francis going up.
Gonna make him earn it at the line.
They'll end up going for 2. Sloppy defense here over the last few minutes by the Skylanders. And he rattles home the first. Does Francis. To say 0-4, but only 0-1 of the division, their only divisional loss against Atlantic Cape. 75-63.
Segs played a lot of close games this year, lost a couple heartbreakers.
Yeah, and Randy Jackson saying, I mean, Atlantic Cape, best team in the division, bar none, he said. And Passaic, corner to 3 by Exel, no good. They got a 2 guard over there in Atlantic Cape. He dropped 39 against Passaic en route to that 75-63 victory. And Randy Jackson's like, well, you know, you only let one guy. They only let him beat him, and they tried to make everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, I'll play 5-on-1.
Exactly. Take that matchup every time. Long shot by Sweet.
Got it! Perhaps a bit of desperation setting in. And the lead's now 11, inside 10 to play. Nieves. He's swinging around down to 15 on the shot clock.
Look to be slowing it down here. No need to score if you're Passaic.
Bellamy lost it off his foot going back to Sussex. First real time we saw Passaic slow it down, try to get something in a set offense. And it cost him there.
Sussex looking to cut into this lead. They're only down by 11. Gonna need a big basket here.
Jordan Wright, the leading scorer, looking to deliver. Oh! Jordan Wright had a sure layup, it looked like, and gave it up to the Panthers. Bellamy gives it up. Lopez. And a foul call. Pardon me, it's Francis. So Francis will go to the line for a pair. Carlos Garcia getting ready to check in for the Skylanders. Francis hits the first. Our next EDTV Channel 20 Sports Basketball broadcast coming to you live on EDTV Channel 20 and as well as on Sussex.edu. Our next scheduled broadcast after this evening is Thursday, December 13th with the women's Skylanders beginning at 5 against Bergen and the men taking the floor at 7. And as well as on Tuesday, December 18th, and the women at 5 as well, and the men hit the floor at 7, and that's against Orange County Community College. So our next couple of broadcasts here on EDTV Channel 20. Garcia coming off the bench, feeds it inside to Wright, unable to get it to go. And they look at dismay coming over Jordan Wright's face as he went by.
Grayson with his own rebound.
Unable to get it to go. And he just took it right out of the hands of Wright and put it back.
He's quite a player. Number 23, Dante Grayson.
Well, I don't know. I'll certainly give Grayson all the credit in the world, but I mean, you got to figure Sussex, perhaps maybe a bit of defeat starting to set in.
Strong rebound by Passaic.
They're missing easy shots, it seems.
A lot of interior layups.
A lot of interior layups, a lot of poor decisions, trying to make that extra pass when it's certainly not necessary, giving up the easy layup, trying to take that long three. Taking the long two and hitting is Nieves. 68-50 our score. Just like that, it's 18 points. If you told me Passaic, another turnover for Sussex, if you told me Passaic was 0-4 coming in tonight, I wouldn't have believed you.
No, they're a much better team than their record states. Really good jump shooting team, and just the Grayson brothers are really impressive.
This team is certainly not 0-4. They certainly do not play like an 0-4 squad. And they're showing it tonight. They're taking it to Sussex. And how much did that turnover, as we have a timeout on the floor called by Sussex, how much did that turnover and that 2 points going in the other direction right before the half maybe affect what we are seeing here in the second half?
Sussex looked like they had a lead going in the half, and then there was that turnover, and it just completely changed the tide of the game, and it looks like Passaic hasn't looked back since.
7.5 remaining second half, 68-50. Passaic, 0-1 in the division, barring a massive collapse. You'd figure they were going to go to 1-1 and take another look at an instant replay. The long two by Francis. Or pardon me, by Nieves, pardon me. getting it to go. So the next divisional game for the Panthers of Passaic is this upcoming Thursday at home against Ocean. So Passaic able to go home for a game. 0-2 at home and 0-2 on the road are the Panthers. They are 7.5 minutes away from getting their first win in the 2012-2013 campaign. Both teams young, one sophomore on this Passaic roster, and they certainly played like a veteran group.
Nine guys total on the Passaic roster, so everyone needs to contribute when they're put in the game.
And they're all athletic. I mean, everybody can do the same thing. When you have the Grayson brothers, it makes things a whole lot easier. When you got a couple guys that are 6'2", 6'6", and everybody's 6 foot or taller. They have one guy that's listed under 6 foot, Lopez at 5'10".
He's right there with the...
Speak of the devil. Nice no-look pass from Nieves. Unable to get it to go. And an outlet pass here to Max Sweet. Sweet spin move in the lane and foul called against Spencer Grayson.
But like you said, a lot of size for Passaic, and they're only one sophomore, so they'll be better in the years to come.
Especially if they can keep this athleticism or bring kids back with similar attributes.
Got a lot of kids from the Patterson, Newark area, so it looks like to be a good place to mine for talent.
And you look at where these kids are from, the hometowns. Patterson, you got Janif Green from Patterson, Xavier Nieves from Patterson, Dominique Letley from Brooklyn, Jesse James from Newark, Stephon Francis from Trenton, David Bellamy from Trenton, Patterson, and then the Grayson brothers from Montclair. That whole Passaic, Essex area, those two neighboring counties in New Jersey, great talent down there. Max Sweet goes up.
Draws the foul.
And a foul call. 6:07 remaining, 70-52 our score. 17 foul against Passaic puts Sussex in the bonus. Next team foul against the Skylanders also puts Passaic in the bonus. Sussex last year, they started out 0-3 last year before getting their first win of the year, and it looks like it could be the same way again next year. Randy Jackson loved his team coming in young, athletic, and they can run.
There's a lot of talent on this Sussex team. They just haven't quite found the way to...
Oh, going for the flush was Grayson, unable to get it to go. Sorry to cut you off there, Alex.
A lot of talent, but they just haven't found a way to have it gel yet as one unit, and Sweet hits the long three.
And I think we've seen that on both ends here. I mean, Sussex, a young team, starting to gel. Randy Jackson said every time we take the floor, it's 40 minutes for us to get better and gel as a team. The storm, the recent storm we had in Sandy, pushed things back. Games getting canceled, practices getting canceled. So a lot of things, kids still trying to get back in the groove of things. And, you know, you need every second, every minute on that floor or in the gym to get used to your teammates, know their tendencies, and so they can get to know your tendencies, and so they can really, so you can put a cohesive five and the best starting five on the floor you can possibly put out there.
Basketball is definitely the epitome of a team sport. You got all five have to be on the same page in order to get the team clicking. Nice hustle play by Spencer Grayson running up into the stands after the loose ball.
They never stop hustling or playing. So we have another timeout called. So the Passaic coach, Anthony Virgil, in his third year as well, he calls the timeout. Also in his third year as Coach Anthony Virgil, 21-34 in his tenure since taking over. one winning season. That was his first year in 2010, 2011 at 13-7. So both teams, young coaches, young teams. Randy Jackson in his third year, 11-39 officially. I'll take a look at the replay. Take a look at the sweet three from the corner. So Randy Jackson, I mean, both teams, both coaches struggling, trying to get into their own. Young coaches, Randy Jackson. Certainly a young coach coaching as well as in the AAU level with the high school kids. And a turnover for Sussex, whistle. And Max Sweet is down. And blood on the floor from Sweet.
Looked like he caught an elbow on that stolen pass.
Right in the area of his right eye. So the trainers will take a look at him.
Looks like we'll get a replay here of the Sweet injury.
Right there you see. Going for the ball is Spencer Grayson. Caught him with an inadvertent elbow.
Right above the eye there.
Great work by the production staff in the back to find that. Certainly inadvertent, no intent by Grayson. So Max Sweet's still down. We have 5 minutes remaining here in the second half, and he'll
walk off the court on his own power.
To a standing ovation. And Max Sweet, a sophomore, the team's second leading scorer. Averaging 12.7 points per contest, and he will go back to the locker room. So it's Tompkins, Dorney, Exel, Garcia, and Alexander, the five on the floor. Inside 5 to play. Dribble drive, kicked out to Alexander. And Alexander turns it over. Bellamy caught her off the deflection by Francis. Grayson for a long two, no good.
Corralled by Garcia.
4.5 remaining. Long two by Exel, no good. Tompkins, the floater, got it to go. Francis gives it up, turns it over. So both teams sloppy basketball here over the last couple of minutes. Alexander double teamed, looking for somewhere to go. They're trying to give it to Exel, no good. And laying it up and in with the right hand.
In transition there was
it's Stephon Francis. 15-point contest, 3:40 remaining. Don't forget, coming up right here next on EDTV Channel 20, Game 2 of our doubleheader, the women's Skylanders taking on the Passaic women's Panthers. And Garcia and Bellamy go down, and Garcia limping and tying his shoe, and hopefully no significant injury to Carlos Garcia. Farad Campbell checking in for Garcia. So we'll come down here to the other end, shoot free throws for Passaic. So Bellamy hits the first. He'll get one more. 18 foul against Sussex. So he hits them both. 75-58 our score inside 3.5 remaining here in the second half. So Mike Lipscomb will get his first crack at coaching the women's team. Mike standing all in the corner just outside the locker room in a suit. He's ready to go, and he's getting focused. There for what should be a very entertaining game. And certainly he looks to change the regime of this women's Skylanders program.
Nice interior pass there.
Campbell unable to get a control. Driving baseline, he does. Gives it to Tompkins. Tompkins is unable to finish. And rebounded by Grayson. And Bellamy has it. 2:48 remaining here in the second half. Sussex coming in tonight with shooting 32.4% from the field as a team, including their scrimmage against Penn State's Scranton. And shooting just 19% from three-point land.
Not going to win many games shooting under 40, 50% from three.
Not going to win a game.
Yeah.
Coming in, they're 0-2. And the defense as well, when you're allowing over 84 points a contest. Not going to win many games. Already at their average is Passaic, averaging 75 points per contest. They have 75 now with 2:40 remaining here in the second half. And Sussex comes in averaging a little over 84, allowing a little over 84. Loose ball, missed free throw. Exel drives baseline, he's fouled. They'll go right back to the free throw line.
Sussex is not giving up here in the last 2 minutes, even with this lead. They're still attacking the basket and trying to create something.
They trail by 16 with 2:35 remaining in the second half. Hitting the first is Exel. So Sussex losing streak will be at 6 as it dates back to last year. They lost their final 3 games of the year last year. And they have not won a game since February 9, 2012. Earlier this year against Passaic, ironically enough, 72-70.
Good game.
These two teams split the season series last year. And it looks like Sussex will be glad to take a season split with them this year as Passaic adds another easy bucket. 77-61. We come on 2 minutes to play, second half. Dorney to Tompkins. Tompkins has it poked away. Campbell.
Nice recovery by Campbell.
Unable to get it to drop. And it's rebounded by Nieves. 1:45 remaining. Poked away by Campbell.
Campbell's played solid defense throughout the entire game. He's really impressed me. It's like a turnover by Passaic.
And it's going to go back over to Sussex with 1:24 remaining. Both games last year between these two teams, very good. Sussex last year, the loss they had last year, 62-59, and then they beat Passaic 72-70. So
both games came down to the last possession.
Came down to the final waning moments, but certainly not the case this year. Nieves pull-up pop in the middle of the lane, gets it to drop. 79-61, 1 minute remaining, second half.
Another Skylanders turnover.
Dorney unable to corral it. And it's been that kind of year thus far here for Sussex. They show promise, and then when they go out and I'm going to go back to that turnover they had that resulted in an easy 2 right before the half for Passaic. I'm going to say that shifted the whole momentum. I mean, down by.
It seems like Sussex still hasn't recovered from that. It's been all Passaic ever since
Sussex
that
had
play.
the ball with 27 seconds remaining here in the first half. trailing 35-33. They turned it over, resulted in a 2 for Passaic. They go in halftime trailing 37-33. Pardon me. And they never seemed to recover. Came out flat-footed. Randy Jackson said you have to get his team motivated. Didn't like the defensive effort, although they put on what appeared to be a better defensive effort in the final 6 or 7 minutes or so of that first half.
It's a tale of two halves. Different Passaic team coming out here. Came out a lot more aggressive in the second half. And
this looks like a Passaic team that'd be 4-0, not 0-4. And if they play like this, they can win. They can win many basketball games.
This is a very
down the road.
This is a very good basketball team.
They certainly have all the. They certainly have all the talent in the world. I mean, the Grayson brothers, couple, and everybody. 80 or 9 guys on the roster are 6 foot or bigger.
Yeah. Passaic is competing right to the end, even with this lead. Still playing defense, not letting anything easy to the basket.
Tompkins to the line. 37 seconds remaining here in the second half. 81-64 our score. Tompkins got it to go, 81-65. 35 and running.
Sussex pressing here in the last 30 seconds, hoping to get a turnover.
A 1 second differential shot clock to game clock. So they can virtually hold for the final shot. And Dorney goes crashing into the stands. Trying to save a ball, but I believe to no avail. And it'll be going up to Passaic with 24 seconds remaining.
Nice to see that hustle play by Dorney, even with 24 seconds left. He's still. What?
And a 14 running, 81-64 our score. Here are the Camels of Sussex County Community College. And the Passaic Panthers, they will get off the 0-4. They will get their first win. They will end their 4-game losing streak to begin the season. Their last win coming on February 2nd. Earlier this year against Gloucester, 59-56. They were currently on a 10-game losing streak dating back to last year coming into this evening. And missing on the first is Spencer Grayson. So the next game, next time these two teams will hook up will be on January 26th in Passaic. And the next game for Passaic, they will take on Ocean at home. As we mentioned, Sussex will be home to CCM as a half second remaining, and that'll do it. Our final score from Sussex County Community College, the Passaic Panthers go on the road and get the impressive victory, 82-66. And the Sussex men's Skylanders, they fall to 0-3 to start the year. Passaic 1-4. And they came out and they dominated the second half.
It was a really different team that came out in the halftime here, and they really showed they didn't look like an 0-4 team at all, and they really played a nice second half.
Absolutely. And what you do, you take a look. Sussex, they were in it after 20 minutes of play, and then the final 20 minutes, a completely different team. And a Passaic team that came out, it looked like they were 4-0 as compared to 0-4.
That team that came out in the first half was a good Sussex team, and they really played nice defense. And but Passaic put the clamps down in the second half. The Grayson brothers really were impressive, and it was a nice team effort. We also wanted to remind you not to forget to watch 21 Days Lampe Valley Football right here on EDTV 20. That's a documentary, Hard Knock style show about the Lampe Valley football team in their first game on the road against the Hackettstown Tigers, and that will be right here on EDTV 20. We also want to let you know that registration is going on for the spring semester, so come on in and check us out on sussex.edu. We're going to go to Jordan Lanata with Coach Randy Jackson.
Thanks, Alex. I'm here with Sussex men's basketball coach Randy Jackson. Randy, another tough loss at home. What do you think the main reason of this loss was?
Heart. We just don't have enough of it. I mean, things start to go bad, and we give up. We stop fighting, we stop competing, we stop moving the ball, and all the things we were doing well in the first half just go away. I think that's the only reason we lost that game. They wanted it more than us. They had more heart. They fought harder than we did from start to finish.
And now you guys get right back. Quick turnaround Thursday at home against CCM. What are you guys going to do for preparation to get ready for Thursday?
Just work. Just work. Get in here tomorrow, get shots up, tighten some things up defensively, and hopefully Thursday we're ready to go.
How much do you think that final basket, that turnover in the final 30 seconds, and Passaic getting a shot off, really turned the tide heading into the locker room?
Not much. I don't think that had much of an impact. I just think we came out early and we gave up a quick bucket, and we just looked deflated. They scored, I think, the first possession of the half. They got a layup, and we just kind of had that here we go again look. And from that point forward, we just kind of stopped fighting as hard as we were in the first half. All
right, Coach, thank you. Good luck on Thursday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for game one of our doubleheader here at Sussex County Community College, EDTV Channel 20. We'll have game two of our doubleheader, the women's Skylanders taking on the Passaic Ladies Panthers, coming up right after this. I'm Jordan Gattelli. More action coming up right here on EDTV Channel 20.